but the lining isn't silver.
Welcome back, buddy, to Major Allstars Dota 2 Tournament. It's a Europe qualifiers. It's the Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Team Empire. I'm GoDz. He's Zyori. How we doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Good first game. Empire taking out a victory. Looking just a little better than NiP in general. Outclassing them maybe a little bit. Better execution. And hey, that off-lane Pudge kept things interesting.
It's good to see Pudge make a resurgence in the competitive scene. Dendy can be happy. You know, those rumors of him moving to the offlane away from mid, maybe it's because that's the only place you can run Pudge.
Very possible.
It's like when Pudge becomes a support, only pick Dendy's up. I'm playing support now. You know?
Okay. I see.
Dendy goes where the Pudge goes, perhaps.
I see the move. I like that. I'm never upset to see a Dendy Pudge. I don't care what position he's playing.
Well, game 2. We're going to see if we get ourselves another Yoki Pudge. It doesn't look like it because an axe has been picked up. The draft underway. Team Empire on the dire side this time around. Ninjas in Pajamas on the Radiant. And, well, we'll see how things unravel here in game number 2.
Let's take a gander. So, oh boy, first pick axe for Empire, like you mentioned. Generally, their Yoki hero, NiP. They'll take a couple of healers. Witch Doctor Chen. There's that Ancient Apparition band. No surprise there. Who plays their Chen? I keep confusing Seal Kid and
Hanskin or Seal Kid.
It's one of, I know it's one of them, but I keep confusing their hero pools.
Who was it on the Wisp last game, just for my memory? Was it Hanskin? Let's find out, you know. We've got this...
oh, yeah, I can actually do some research here.
Yeah. As I mess up with our overlays. Game 1, here we go. It was a Seal Kid Wisp.
Seal Kid Wisp, okay. So maybe the Seal Kid Chen. That's going to be my guess. But pretty good support. It's great for pushing, of course. The Voodoo Restoration, pretty good for supporting up those creeps, healing them up a bit. And, of course, Jen, a pusher that needs no introduction on that front. They'll go ahead with the Sniper. Worked for Team Empire last game, so now NiP going to try to give them a taste of their own medicine.
Okay. I mean, it worked very well for NiP, and for Empire, sorry, and that was with NiP having a lot of gap closes. Right now, Empire do not have the best as far as gap closes go. Axe with a Blink Dagger, not bad, but generally Sniper with that extra range can kind of see Axe coming, especially during the daytime. So we'll see Sniper with a lot of backup and protection in the form of the Chen and the Witch Doctor. So we'll see what Empire look to get for their lineup to maybe deal with this hero. They could still fit in some of those heroes like a Clockwork. Some teams do run the Axe as a safe laner. You get like a mid carry for Resolution. We're seeing him play like a Sniper last game. Sometimes he's kind of more on that high priority farming hero, that one position, so to speak, even in the mid lane.
Yeah. Yeah, quite possibly. Looking at these third and fourth bans, especially from Empire, a little bit different. We saw the Phoenix in the last game. I'm surprised to see it banned out, mostly because it feels like they dealt with it pretty damn well. I mean, I guess they had the Sniper on their side, but not something I want to tangle with here. The Luna ban, I guess afraid of some pushing with the Chen and the Witch Doctor. We've seen how potent that aura can be in that kind of a scenario. NiP banning out the AA makes some sense against their healers, but then the Brood Mama taken out of the pool. Given that Axe has already been picked up, I don't know that they would have really gone for a Brood Mother. That's not really a classic Empire hero.
Yeah, I don't think of Yoki as a big Brood player, but
maybe it's in his arsenal.
Especially when you've already got the Axe on your team. But kind of, I guess, mentioned you can run the Axe as a safe laner, and Brood is actually kind of like a very farm-focused hero for the offlane. So if you want to run like an Axe or Centaur safe lane, generally it's because you have a farming offlane as well as a farming mid, which I guess a Brood kind of slots into. But
yeah,
still flexible as far as how they want to run this Axe.
Yeah.
They want the Dazzle they really like is still in the pool as well if they want to get that added protection for your Axe. And
yeah, thinking about this third pick quite a bit. They will settle on the Tusk.
Man, Empire, I mean, these teams in general just keep delivering some spicy little picks, looking to mix things up, and it's refreshing to see, you know?
Yeah. Probably a Tusk on the 4. I would imagine that's your Aloha Dance hero.
It's the Earthshaker substitute. I mean,
yeah. The move around, you know, block out some areas with your ice shard, set up some kills, snowball some people in, snowball some people out. It's a very literally snowbally pick,
10
figuratively
seconds
as well.
remaining.
If you can get some early experience, a little bit of early momentum, the 4 Tusk can do a lot of
5
work, but
seconds remaining.
it's always a risky pick, I think. Good with Axe, natural synergy, you can snowball in, trap
Reserve
people in with the
time.
Ice Shard, so hard to get away from all those counter helixes, but if he doesn't get any kind of early momentum, he can so quickly become a liability.
Yeah, when I see like Tusk as far as snowball initiations go, that's always where you want to be picking up some like nice AoE stun to counter initiate. Unfortunately, they've kind of picked their support, so they can't get something like an Enigma where you're snowballing into a waiting black hole, an Earthshaker where there's a fissure waiting for you. Tide could work as far as an offlaner go. Like you're going to be very hesitant to snowball initiate if there's a Tide waiting for you with Ravage, with Anchor Smash. So the heroes which generally you want to be picking against Tusk, make him play a more defensive style with the snowball. And with just the Sigil kind of as his main spell. But
Yeah, though right now I feel like Empire have a pretty good team to deal with what NiP have at their disposal. Axe and Tusk, 2 good gap closers that can get up right in the face of Witch Doctor Chen or Sniper. Really none of those heroes known for their manliness when it comes to a one-on-one tango kind of like that, especially if there's ice shards there blocking you out or a kinetic field. Empire with a lot of catch this game so far, but here you go. Nice tanky
Team
frontliner,
Empire's
NiP. They
turn
get the
to
bristleback. Probably their offlaner. I think that's usually your Jonas hero, and we'll see what he can do.
yeah, I think this is a good hero to be picking up as well. Just having some tanky frontliners against Axe and a Tusk who are going to be looking to be aggressive in the laning stage, in the mid game, and you need someone who can kind of act as that meat shield in some sense to the Sniper, make it a lot easier for Sniper to sit back, do his thing, and you don't want to really be running
10
past the
seconds
bristleback. He'll start
remaining.
adding up those quill spray stacks, and over time, even fairly tanky
5
heroes like an Axe
seconds
are going to struggle
remaining.
to stay alive against that, though. Axe at the same time, if you want to go in the bristleback, one of the better heroes at dealing with him because you can
Reserve
make him
time.
face you and do a lot of damage, not having to worry about that bristleback passive, but in general, it still feels like a good pick for the ninjas in pajamas. Just something they'll have to play around.
10 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
Empire at the tail end of their reserve time here. What do they
5
do? They need a
seconds
couple of
remaining.
cores. Sky's the limit. It's the Storm Spirit. So
Ah.
both
Radiant
teams kind of
team
trading
ban.
over some of their cores here. Now we'll see NiP play the Sniper and Empire be the ones to take the Storm Spirit. Does strike me as a good Storm Spirit game, though. Minimal stuns, just the Coconut, really. Maybe a couple of Centaur hoof stomps, but other than that, this Storm should be running amok.
10
Yeah. As
seconds
far as Storm's
remaining.
concerned, Casket's hardly a stun. He sees
Yeah,
it coming. He can
yeah.
dodge it.
5
Yeah, it's got a pretty
seconds
slow
remaining.
projectile.
Not something I think Storm will be too worried about this game. And
Reserve
that's where
time.
this last
10
pick for the
seconds
ninjas,
remaining.
they're looking at probably some kind of safe lane farmer. They even need another
5
hero so they can
seconds remaining.
just get their lineup out of control, taking towers, taking objectives. They've got a lot of
Team
kind of
Empire's
15 to
turn
20 minute stage of
ban.
the game pushing power. Sniper doesn't need huge items. Like, he is a carry, but at the same time, he's a good kind of death ball hero. He's got the long range. He's got the shrapnel. And that's where this Viper ban is one of those heroes that
Radiant
could complement
team
that kind of a
pick.
strategy quite nicely. Something where you're just going to look to 5-man there. Empire at this point are more worried about the push than they are about NiP picking up some hero with a ton of lockdown to counter the Storm.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So what do NiP go for here? Do they try and grab a good pushing hero, or do they look for some lockdown? Those are kind of the 2 different angles they can take it at this point.
And pushing options are somewhat limited, and they are going to go for the pushing
Right.
option. Haven't
Team
seen
Empire's
Jakiro in a long
turn to
time,
pick.
man.
Yeah,
is
Jakiro, I think,
Flashback pick.
still pretty potent. A lot more potent than you would wager based on how infrequently THD's picked up. The big change that made him fall off was Liquid Fire. Just took that little nerf. I think it was mostly damage-oriented. I believe the attack slow was left the same, but now it just the burn damage is just a little bit less at every level.
That sounds right.
10 seconds remaining.
Everything else is still pretty damn good with this hero, though. You still have the long-range Ice Path.
5
You can
seconds
still do some
remaining.
huge damage early on with Dual Breath. The slow is massive at level 1, 28%.
Reserve time.
Ability that can scale pretty well. Still very effective at pushing, but the pushing strats in general, not what they used to be. Brewmaster, the final choice for Empire. Great tempo controller here. It will be Resolution to take the Storm, and Silent will be the one to pick up the Drunken Brewmaster.
Looking like a good Brewmaster game as well. There's nothing to really prevent him getting off his ultimate. He's going to be able to just get it off every single team fight, and just in general, you've got the Cyclone to throw the Bristleback, who's going to be somewhat annoying up in the air. You've got Drunken Haze to deal with the Sniper, given that mischance, and Sniper doesn't generally build BKB or Manta style, at least not as like an early pickup. And when your opponents are 5-manning and pushing, you need some hero to actually go in, initiate, and kind of take the focus from NiP, and a Brewmaster is kind of the ideal pick to be doing that with. So a fantastic Brewmaster
Prepare
game.
for battle.
NiP still have a lot of options with their draft. If they can get some momentum, push down a lot of early towers, they are going to be somewhat hard to stop.
Yep, certainly so. Per usual, it's going to come down to the Chen. That'll be the Handskin hero this go-around, so he'll be the one in the jungle. It'll be Era playing on the safe lane sniper, at least presumably. Jonas on the Jakiro. Probably means he's headed to the off lane, and that puts Limp on the Bristleback, I would guess, going to the mid. We'll see where they end up as all 5 heroes are grouped up in the Radiant jungle, ready to intercept the invasion of Team Empire. They're all smoked up as 5. They've got a Tusk with some boots first. He is hungry for blood, and we'll see if someone on NiP will be kind enough to fill his belly with some bacon.
5 hero snowball. Here we go. He's got vision. He's still smoked in the snowball.
Oh, my Handskin. All of a sudden, a snowball comes out of nowhere. That's an easy first blood. Limp, though, he goes charging on in. They want to fight this. He's doing a lot of damage. Maybe they can find a kill on Yoki. Glimpse back. Okay, they still get Yoki down. Now Silent, kind of left behind. He's on the run. Makes it to the low ground. Hit by the dual breath. There's that 28% slow we were talking about. It's a turnaround. 2 for 1. NiP are the ones that come out the victors of this early scuffle. But Empire with that very, very showy first blood.
Very showy indeed. If they'd spotted another hero, that fight would have gone a lot better. They couldn't kill like one of the high impact level 1 heroes. If they find the Bristleback or the Sniper, fantastic, because those are the 2 heroes that wrecked them in that fight. The triple shrapnel, the Bristleback quill sprays, and also the Jakiro with those dual breaths did a lot of work there. But that's an interesting way to get things started here, as our lanes will unravel now. Empire losing a couple, but at least getting the first blood, going the way of their Tusk, which is not really your ideal.
Yeah.
He's already got boots, so it's not like he's going to get fast boots. He may get something like an Orb of Venom off of this, but in general, not exactly the best here to get the first blood on.
Yeah, I think definitely not. But could be a lot worse, of course. I guess Disruptor getting boots might have been slightly better. So who got the kills for NiP? I know Sniper got one of them. Looks like Witch Doctor picked up the other. So Seal Kid, he gets some early boots on the Witch Doctor, maybe a little more potent. It will end up being him and the Bristle in the safe lane as they square off against Yoki. Coconut bouncing around. They'll win the harass battle there. So Chen in the jungle, that puts Era mid, and then it will be the offlane Jakiro with the double ring of protection to get things started. Safe lane Storm, mid resolution on the Brewmaster, and we saw the offlane Axe. So the Empire lanes, probably a little more predictable, what you'd expect. NiP are the ones switching it up a little bit more. The safe lane Bristle.
Yeah, it's pretty good against the Axe. Problem is you're being melee here, so Axe may pick up an early. Actually picks up the boots, doesn't go for the magic stick, and Limp has to be a bit careful here with the Axe, who can get a bit aggressive. I think Witch Doctor will be picking up an early Maledict. Axe goes for the Voodoo Restoration here. Not going for as aggressive as of a build as far as zoning out this Axe.
Yeah.
Axe can get a lot done against it.
We've seen the Eastern teams, especially DAC, a surprising amount of Witch Doctor players prioritizing the Maledict. Really good against these tankier strength cores, kind of like Axe. Just for that extra little bit of damage, not the easiest hero to pick on in lane. We'll go ahead and pick up his Magic Wand now, so ready to handle this Bristleback. 2-minute runes come out. It'll be a bounty up top for the Tusk, and down bottom it's an invisibility. Handskin will keep it safe on the Chen, or at least camp it out, give some vision to his team, but Sniper can't really make great use of it. Era would rather sit back and farm. Handskin will be the one to pick it up. He's got a Centaur. They're going to rotate down and look for this Axe, who's busy skirmishing with Seal Kid and Limp. They're both completely out of mana.
Yeah, gets Limp very low, forces out the salve, and with this boots advantage, Yoki's doing some serious work here. Should be able to avoid the Chen Centaur as well, but he may need to find a way to actually salve up, and does get away, and
could be an Axe sandwich here. He's got a couple of stick charges. Seal Kid does have a Clarity on. Still a while before he gets the mana for the cask. The Centaur will try to chase down the Axe. He's slowed up by the Shrapnel. Chen comes on in and secures the kill with the Centaur. And, of course, the Sniper gets an assist on the board and a little bit extra gold going his way and experience.
Yeah, Axe just didn't pop the salve when he had the chance to. Could have done so around that little small neutral camp, but got a bit greedy there, thinking it'd be okay. The Sniper rotation was what sealed his fate, so decent rotation there. Empire still lasted well all across the board in all 3 lanes, and that's where they lost 2 in the kind of counter initiation at the level 1 fight. Yoki dies there, but it does feel like, looking at the big picture, their lanes are set up nicely. Snowball in the top lane, they're going to initiate in. Not quite as fast as the last Snowball in. Not going to be bringing out the speedometer for this one, but Jonas still in a lot of trouble here. No pull available, but
Limp's going to completely isolate him right into Ice Shards. Easy kill.
Witch Doctor even showing up for this one. Always when a fly gets low, but won't be brought down.
If he had a Maledict there, maybe it could have been a kill. Maybe, just maybe. So 2-3 now. Empire finally gets a kill up on the board. Their safe laner getting credit for that one. No, it was the Tusk again, actually, that got credit for that kill. So he's their hero killer. That will allow him to pick up fast phase boots. Moves around the map a little more effectively. Now in the mid, wrap around from Handskin. Right onto Resolution. He's got a tomato in the front lines. Centaur to back him up, but they just can't close the gap. And no kill secured. The Resolution may get relegated to the well.
Man, Tusk is just having the time of his life. His second bounty route in a row. He's got phase boots. He's had both kills for the team. He is filthy, filthy rich.
He's having a field day here. This is the dream team.
It's like the Dazzle from last game. He just rocks up mid lane, gets a double kill, casually has the same net worth as your sniper in the early game, but
Yeah.
see what Aloha Dance can do with it. The phase boots is a nice early pickup to have on a Tusk. An item which you'd never normally get. You'd probably not even build into this just because you can't get it at a time where it's high impact, but at this point, getting it at 4 minutes in is huge.
Yeah. You know, I just realized that Tusk is carrying around a pot full of dead fish. I never noticed the...
He's an ice fisherman, I guess.
I never noticed that. I mean, he's a walrus. I assumed he liked to eat fish, but it's strange that he's just, like, carrying around dinner with him.
Oh, it's in his backpack. Is that part of
Yeah.
the cosmetics? Like, I feel like... no, he's got no cosmetics.
No, I think that's just standard Tusk, I
It's
guess.
like tied with his, like, sea urchin sometimes, his anchor other times.
Yeah,
People
I
can,
feel like Tide makes more sense. You know, I picture the lore. He's just come out of the Tide. He's been hunting around, and he's just got some sea stuff stuck about his body. Tusk, it's like he was picking up dinner and then said, "Oh, I got to go fight a battle. I'm going to bring my fish with me, just in case I get some time to eat in between skirmishes." It's, you know, he doesn't have like fish punch. It's walrus punch. And why does Walrus Punch have text that pops up on the screen? I never understood that. Why is Tusk so lore breaking? How come he's
immersion breaking?
Is there immersion break? Is there any other spell that pops up like that says, "Congratulations, you used your ultimate Walrus Punch"? Yeah, it's like the old Batman. Kapow, wham.
I don't know what to say to that.
Walrus Punch.
I don't have any answers for you. I'm sorry.
I remember when I recorded
I'm
that.
okay with the fishes. The Walrus Punch thing,
It's just strange. I don't understand. It's also strange that you can autocast it. Why would you ever want to autocast Walrus Punch?
that was a recent change, too.
It didn't used to be autocastable.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was only changed within, like, the last 6 months or a year or so, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the reason was. I think it was considered to be a bit of a buff for some reason. I can't remember why.
Does it have something to do with the cast point, where if you auto cast it and then right click, it like is a little faster than if you don't auto cast it and target the ability specifically? I know there's one other auto cast that's like that, though I'm forgetting which one it is. Is it Ice Arrows or something? I feel like works that way. Like it has a longer cast point if you cast it rather than auto cast it.
I see what you mean. I'm not sure the exactly how that works.
I may have just made that up, but
Yeah, I don't know.
that was more anecdotal experience.
The finer Dota 2 mechanics.
Yeah. I remember when I recorded the first promo video for Dota Radio, and the footage I used had a Tusk in it, and he used Walrus Punch, and it popped up, and I was like, man, what is that? Why is that there? And ever since then, it's just been burned in my memory as Tusk, the immersion breaker.
Tusk, yeah, man. I really like the Tusk model. I think he's one of the cool
He
heroes.
just looks
Snowball
like,
Lane.
the Walrus, here we go. Jonas, he's in some trouble. Oh, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
I never actually left cinematic view. I just watched that snowball in from the cinematic view here. This looks great. Oh, this poor Jakiro, who's just had a big snowball shatter all over him.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. That is screenshot worthy, though.
Oh, man.
That actually looks like something out of like a Dota cinematic when they're, like zoomed in the zone and Jakiro's like swooping in, flying around, breathing fire.
If you saw this, and you'd think Jakiro's...
You think Tusk is a pervert, actually. He's just got this eye line right at the genitalia region of the Jakiro.
He even got that little smirk on his face,
Yeah.
He's got some white teeth, man. Tusk has some good dental hygiene.
He really does. All those fish, low fat. Well, good on the omega-3s. Low carbs, I guess. I guess one of the other ones is LC, the winner that pops up. But
yes,
that doesn't bother me as much. That, I feel, is a little more fitting because it's like it makes that sound, like the sound effect fits in it. It's like, oh, she won the victory. You need the affirmative to say if somebody won to get the bonus damage, Walrus Punch happens regardless. It doesn't really. You punched him. Congratulations. There's no second wind.
I'm kind of with you on this. It doesn't bother me too much, but I also like, why does it happen?
Yeah, it just stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Sort of like the mechanic of siege creeps. I saw that people arguing about that on Reddit this morning. Just how that's a very weird mechanic of, for example, breathe fire does siege damage. You know, it'll hit a siege engine, but most spells do not.
Yeah.
You know,
Some
I guess
spells do.
anything with fire, like I guess liquid fire will hit siege engines.
Demonic conversions you can use on it.
Yeah.
There was some spell, I can't remember what it was, that used to work in Dota 1, which I love to use on siege creeps. It doesn't work anymore in Dota 2.
You could bloodlust them. Does that work in
Oh, yeah.
Dota 2? That works.
I think so.
I think that one still works. But see, that's weird though. I would not expect that you could cast bloodlust on a mechanical unit.
You can purification them.
You can, yeah.
I've killed enemy heroes by like using a level 4 purification on a
Yeah.
siege creep when they weren't expecting it.
But you can't hook them. Or can you? Was that a Dota 1 change?
You cannot hook.
You
siege
cannot hook
creeps,
them. It'll
no.
go through the siege creeps. It still
Yeah.
was that way in Dota 2, yeah. So there's all these obscure mechanics around siege, mechanical, like, siege creeps. And things that do damage to them, things that don't do damage to them.
It's
weird. It's
a
funky.
weird world we live in. I
It
agree.
is. Well, it's better now that the damage types have been normalized. I think that was a big step in
Yeah.
making Dota somewhat digestible for your average person.
And even how siege creeps work, like as far as how they aggro, like siege creeps never aggro onto your hero. Like sure, it makes sense that as siege creeps they should focus towers, but why do they focus creep waves over a hero?
Yeah.
Where's the logic in that? I mean, obviously at some point you just got to go with one
They
way
do.
or the other. But
Who's driving those things? They do have odd priorities.
yeah, let's ignore. Let's run past this hero who's attacking me and go find the next creep wave. That's further
I
down.
guess they only attack heroes if all the other units die and heroes, like,
Yep.
it's a hero soloing a creep wave, then it'll hit you.
And if it
But-
ever latches onto a creep, and creeps will ignore siege creeps. They'll like run past a siege creep to attack like a hero or another creep, and the siege creep then chases the creeps. And if you're going for that siege creep, you're going to chase the siege creep.
Yeah. I do remember when they added siege creeps, though. I remember that
Oh, yeah.
change in Dota 1. That was a nice addition. I think it added a little bit of extra flow to the game. Obviously, creeps push a little faster, but it is nice to have those value creeps every so often that add a
Yep.
nice kind of spicy dynamic. I always thought that was
Maybe
a
it's
cool
something that
change.
could be changed moving forward. Like have like a new creep that spawns every couple of minutes. I don't know
yeah.
what it'd be. Maybe a creep with like a heal.
Wasn't
or-
there there was a Dota 1 game mode that was like that? What was it? Super Creeps? Was it
Yeah,
like
that
I remember
was-
when I was playing EM, it was like AP EM SC, and then
Yep.
they would have like golems would spawn in the lanes.
That was more like what Year Beast is now. They were meant to be like really big, powerful creeps. Where,
yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this big creep just spawned. Now let's go
I mean,
push with it.
I was already playing easy mode, so that with Super
Hey
Creeps
man,
is
you
like,
and like 80 to 90% of Dota players were playing easy mode.
that
so
that was the style back then, dude.
Yeah.
That was the only way to
you
do
log
it.
on to G-Arena or Battle.net and you go to your games list and like majority were easy mode.
I mean, back then, some of it was because there were no repercussions for leaving unless you were playing on some sort of a digital ladder. So, you know, you were you had extra motivation to play shorter games because people would inevitably leave. So at least you could get
yeah.
sort of into the mid game if it was EM. If it was straight up AP, chances are somebody would leave before you're done the laning
Yeah,
stage.
there were some like little smaller communities, like you had your TDA, where it was like this in-house community where it'd be like less easy mode, and
Yeah.
you have that guarantee of no leavers to some extent.
Yeah, once they implemented like a lot of the automated bots that would come in and, you know, have their own little leagues that they would run out. I guess they're just bots. I feel like they had different names. I don't. What were some of the other ones?
Your
I
chat
can't-
bots, you mean? Like
Well,
your channel bots? I know.
Yeah, well, they were, but then they started hosting servers. Like you could like ping the bots, and they would
yeah,
host
yeah,
a
yeah.
server, and it would have like the name with a number, and then you could join up, and each one had its own little like digital ladder or league that was attached to it. So
And
that had some lever protection.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, it's Warcraft 3, so you could always just make a new account, and start over. I guess.
TDA was good because to get into TDA, you had to have a ladder icon. So you could make a new account, but you had to win
play-
25 games.
Yeah, you had to win 25 ladder games
on
Yeah.
one race. So you could do 25 games on random on whatever
Yeah.
race. So
Forgot about that.
I was young. I was like 12 or 13 years old. I was a repeat ban. I probably had a good 20 banned TDA accounts.
20. Jesus.
I would say at least.
See, I wasn't a big
I was a-
TDA
I was a
guy.
bit of a rager.
At that time, Dota was just fun for me. I was like, you guys are taking this custom game way too seriously. I joined the channel, I get kicked, I'm not good enough. Oh, you know what, fine, I'll play on one of these other ladders. I'll play on one of these bots.
Okay.
These bots seem to like me more. TDA was way too... I don't know. I was too bad at Dota then. I was not thinking at all about playing Dota seriously. I was just going Lich boots first with no regen, solo mid every game.
The other really fun thing that existed in Dota 1 that I hope I mean, Dota 2, I guess you have the lever and the reconnect function anyways, and just lever prevention, but you could swap teams. So it's like, let's say one team has a lever, and then someone else is like, oh, fuck this game, it's 5v4, and then it becomes 5v3, and then you're like, hey, someone on the other team want to swap over, and you would swap like one of your levers for one of their active players, and it would become a 4v4.
Oh, yeah.
So there'd be games which are super one-sided stomps, and the guys who are stomping are like, well, I'm having fun. Like, I got all these kills. I want this game to go on. So you have to try and basically negotiate over one of your better players or someone who's like doing well to turn into a 4v4 or a 4v3, whatever it may be. Like even a 5v2 could turn into a 4v3 and still be a kind of interesting or at least semi-competitive game. But
well, it gets kind of fun at that point because then you get all the gold from the people that are gone and all the other items. So you get buffed up super fast. And I remember a few games where it's like 2v4, but it's you and your friend and you're super, super farmed and you just pick up a Shadow Blade and start killing people. I remember those days. I remember the first game that I recognized the value of BKB. I was the most farmed Phantom Lancer I ever was in my life. I didn't farm back then. I just wanted to kill people. So I'd pick a carry and then try and fight. It doesn't make any sense. I didn't understand the core concepts of farming and mechanics. So I played Phantom Lancer because, hey, he's got a slow. I can snipe last hits with that, right? And I was super fat one of those games, and I was wrecking. I killed 2 lanes of racks, and then they got a Hex, and they just kept killing me with the Hex over and over. And I thought that item was broken, and then someone explained BKB to me, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
wow, that item sounds really good. Maybe I could have won if I had one of those.
I think it's the hardest thing and the thing that isn't really explained the most. I mean, sure, your tutorials like teach you how to farm and stuff, but it's like farming is the most important skill and thing to do in Dota. But as like a new player, and it's like, okay, this game is a hero v hero. Like we're meant to push their throne, but I want to fight and kill heroes. That's always your mindset as a new player or someone's like, let's use my spells on other heroes and go for kills, regardless of what level I am, regardless of what level they are, regardless of what my spells do. Even if I'm a late game carry hero, let's go Frost Arrow some people to death as a Drow Ranger. Let's go use Mystic Snake on the enemy, whatever it is, the hero that does a ton of damage to you. It's like, you just want to fight and get kills.
Oh, man. I miss the days of the Drow marksmanship just being like a, 15% chance to instant kill a creep.
Yes.
Like the worst farming tool ever.
I love that. I would just rush Mask of Death and just jungle with that hero. The thing is, when you're ulti proc, you would get like 200 HP.
Oh, really? You got lifesteal from it too?
Yeah.
Oh,
you would based on however much HP the neutral had. Like if you kill from full HP, you get like the full lifesteal as if you'd done that much damage. So
oh man, that's so strong.
I would just jungle for 30, 40 minutes and then buy like 2 rapiers at once and come out of the jungle with 2 rapiers. And,
oh my, oh my.
All right.
Back in the day. So what's going on here? We're going to need a remake or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. We may need a remake. I don't know if Steam and Dota 2 Year Beast has had some issues.
So Year Beast has climbed out of his computer and trampled the internet line coming into his house. Yeesh.
All right, his network is down. We got issues then. Hopefully coming back up soon.
We got problems. Well, I guess it depends on what Empire's schedule is looking like today. Eventually, I guess there is a finite amount of time you can stay paused, and then after that, it's at the behest of the opposition. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, there's a finite. I think the rules say 10 minutes max of pause time per game. So at some point, we'll have to continue. I'm not sure. Can you remake from a load with a replacement player? I don't know. I never know how that works.
I think you can do the thing where you take over a replay and then everybody... Yeah, I think someone else can sit on that character.
Yeah, because when you load, when you go to the load replay, you can join any slot.
Yeah, you can join any slot and all the heroes are there. So, theoretically, if you wanted to, you could trade who's playing which hero on your team.
Okay.
Usually that's against the rules, of course, but I think,
Yeah.
mechanics-wise or whatever, the client will
I don't think a team would want it. But it's more if, a player loses all his power, you could theoretically get a stand-in and still not have to start the game from scratch, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
We got some good old-fashioned Kale.
Oh, yeah. Yummy kale.
Well, at least for one player here. I've just been on watching this Jakiro tusk.
Poor Jakiro. He is so dead.
What's
he doesn't even know
the
it
map?
yet.
Not too much.
Oh, boy. Well, it was going well.
It was. It was a good morning.
It
We had
was-
a fun game 1. Game 2 was looking
It was
kind of
going
interesting.
so smooth. What time does our second series start, or is it right after? What's the official time?
It's, I think, midday our time, so hour and 40 minutes from now. We
okay,
got time.
We still have a good bit.
Yeah, there's 3.5 hours like per BO3, so
Oh, okay. That's nice.
yeah, we got no problems there. But at the same time, Empire don't have all day, and there are rules in place. So
Usually it's like 10 minutes is the go-to amount of time. I don't know specifically what it is for this event, but
yeah,
that's a pretty good, usually a pretty good window, 10 to 15 minutes. That feels fairish. Did you see that picture on Reddit the other day of the Storm Spirit cosplay? Those two little kids.
yeah.
That was pretty cute.
That was
pretty
great.
freaking cute.
I saw that and was like, oh, this is going to be another one of those like Twisted Bolt shitty cosplays or something.
Yeah. And I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that. I was like, isn't that the cutest thing ever?
Yeah, that was great. It did remind me of Blitz a lot. The little
yeah.
kid.
Yeah. He had a little bit of a Blitz vibe to him.
It's also funny. That's like how I imagine Blitz as a kid.
Yeah.
It's also funny because he has a sister who looks a bit like that. Like as far as I don't know, like same kind of hairstyle.
Yeah.
And it's just like very short too. So
I like his
sister's kinda
shoes
short.
too. He's got some really classic
Yeah.
kicks for a Storm Spirit. That's pretty
mean-
legit though. Very
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, on the front page at the same time, they also had the next edition of the shitty cosplay, which are getting shittier and shittier as they continue to do it.
This one was great. This one was great.
You like the anti-mage one? I thought it was too long. It's like 18 seconds. Like the glory in all of the other ones. Like the Wisp one was one of the first ones I saw that I loved. And what I liked about it is that it was short. It was short and sweet, you know. He just plays the little flute and then he dies. 4 seconds of cringe. That's the perfect amount. Once you get past that like 6-second window, I'm just cringing so hard that I just I don't know. Short and sweet with that kind of content is
yeah, his
That's my
initial ones
opinion.
were like 5 to 10 seconds long.
yeah.
The anti-mage one was definitely a bit too long. I don't know. It was okay. I still
I
thought it
liked
was
the Mana
hilarious.
Void. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
the Mana Void was good at the end. It was
Yeah.
worth the wait, but it was a little
It
fat.
was a
in the
good
middle.
concept. It was just, I mean, we're complaining about being too long. It was like 30 seconds long video.
I think it was like 18 seconds. I don't even think it was 20.
Yeah. It's just all his passwords were like 5 to 10 seconds, and we're just like straight to the punchline, and
Yeah.
we're great. So that was fun. But he's had some good ones. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure which would be my favorites.
Oh, Jenkins guide.
Yeah, the offlane pudge.
There you go. I like Jenkins. He's a nice guy. He tweets at me sometimes. For a while, his in-game name was "Tweet at me, I'm lonely" or something.
Yeah. His latest in-game name is Not Jenkins. That's his
Not
go-to name. All right, so we're gonna get things back underway in a minute here. It's been, I think it may have been roughly 10 minutes, but we didn't start the stopwatch when the pause began. So
Uh-oh.
admin Parker here has let us down.
Uh-oh.
But
Well,
we can check
Jenkins,
the VODs.
Jenkins says Bottle is way better than Soul Ring for doing
Okay.
like the jungling pulling pudge, in case you're curious. He claims the Bottle is way better thanks to the Bounty Rune. Without the Bounty Rune, you could probably make a case that Soul Ring's better value, but
Yeah, you can.
storing up like an Invis or a Haste is kind of like a free kill.
Yeah, and you got that constant guarantee that you can refill your bottle, I guess.
Mhm.
In the past, it was like it's a 50-50 chance you get a rune, and then who knows if it's an illusion rune or something kind of crappy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I played a position 4 Pudge in one of my sub games the other day, and sometimes that's like one of those strategies that it either is amazing and the other team doesn't understand what's going on, or that there's a Pudge in the jungle and you get a lot of kills. Are we resumed? Are we good?
yeah, we're back in the action.
Oh.
It's been 10 minutes.
Here we go. Okay.
We'll see. NiP, unfortunately, going to have to continue on 4v5.
Oh man,
That's
this is rough stuff.
One of the things we'd mentioned, there's a lower bracket. So NiP not going to be out of the tournament. They'll still be able to kind of continue on in the lower bracket here. So it won't be the end of the road for them. And they are down 1-0, but this game too, at least the start was decent for them.
Well, this is really unfortunate
Radiant's
though.
top
4v5.
tower
What's
is
the
under
strategy here? Do you have somebody try to control the Jakiro? Do you leave him in the base to prevent feeding? Looks like they're gonna bring Jackie out
Yeah.
to help one of the other
I
lanes.
think he's going to become one of Chen's creeps.
Okay.
That's the plan. Chen, I mean, Hanskin's already playing a Chen. What's one more creep?
That's true. It's basically like having an Ag Scepter and getting a Drake, except at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
How different is it really?
You wish Jakiro was magically mid lane. A bit of a dive coming. Aloha dance is overextended. Gets turned around, and Resolution has an ultimate, but
And that's a spree ended, actually. Seal Kid gets a pretty penny for that little exchange. He's already got his boots, but pretty good for the level 3 Witch Doctor.
so NiP will battle this one out here. They get down the Observer down on the high ground and mid, and see what Chen and Jakiro have in mind here. No smoke on them for the time being, and they are just going to jungle it up together. Looks like here. And Jakiro in the jungle, get that liquid fire going. There we go. Easy jungle.
Yeah, it sort of is unfortunate for the Chen having to share XP with a DC'd comrade, though I guess there's still that hope that he could reconnect at any moment. Bottom lane, Limp, yeah, he gets snowballed on. There's that combo. Ice Shards right into the Berserker's Call. Nowhere for Limp to go. That's the slam dunk. And a kill on the Bristleback.
I feel like, we're talking about spells that should have text above them. Culling Blade. You should put some text above that. Forget Walrus Punch.
What should it say? Calling Blade.
Something. Just Axe.
Dire's top tower is under
Doug.
attack.
I feel like Axe. It should say
Radiant's
Axe in big
bottom
letters
tower
or something
is
here.
under attack.
Top lane. Sniper gets
How
a kill.
did Sniper get credit for that? I think the whole mission there was to try and hope to just die to the tower to not give gold to any one hero. And Era, of all heroes, like, that's okay.
I think Sniper TP'd and got glimpsed out. Maybe.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Glimpse is not on cooldown, so I don't honestly, I don't know. I was too busy talking about text over heroes' heads. Yoki looking for another dunk, and this one he gets it. Axe strikes once more. Can he get his way out of here? Resolution clap as well as a split, and that's going to be a second dunk for Yoki. Does go down to the assassinate here, but the Brewmaster split will finish off one more. It's a 3-for-2 trade so far. Or 3-for-1 trade so far, sorry, as the Chen creep army are going to get cleaned up as well.
Yeah, 1 for 3.5 as it seems. Era now laid in some shrapnel, some auto attacks. Can he get a low hot dance? No, the Walrus Man walks away with 25 hit points to spare. Those gauntlets of strength, gods, keeping him alive now. Up on the high ground here, always want to fly. Gets down a kinetic field, but that's not going to keep him safe from the likes of the Bristleback Sniper.
Radiant's top tower
Is that a
has
crazy
fallen.
ward mission? Looks like it may have been.
Yeah, kind of behind enemy lines there. Chen needs to rebuild his creep army now. And, we'll see how things go here. It looks like, wait, Jonas has reconnected? Oh, he's back.
Good.
Radiant's top
Yay!
tower is under attack.
Woo! All right,
Okay.
back to 5v5 Dota.
So not too much damage was done to him. He did die once, but he was in the jungle, so at least got like a
Radiant's
level and a
top
half of
tower is
XP
under
before he
attack.
was able to reconnect. So I guess not all bad for
Yeah.
Jonas.
The fight, one bad fight for them, I guess, which was not catastrophically bad. It was like a 1,500 gold swing. Axe got a few chops off. Will help him get a fast blink, which is worrisome, but it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, is recoverable though. All the while, Silent, getting a lot of space in the lane, did manage to knock down this tower, has Soul Ring, making some progress towards an Oblivion Staff with that Robe of the Magi. 3 heroes down bottom, snowball forward, right onto old Limpy. And they actually find the kill, though. Glimpse back, kinetic field will block him out, right into a Berserker's Call. Slam dunk the funk! Yoki gets another one. Oh, man. Axe with the momentum, 2,100 gold. Blink Dagger on the horizon.
Oh, trouble.
Radiant's
They're going to run to
bottom
Seal
tower
and
is
Hanskin
under
here in the
attack.
jungle, but not look to get too aggressive. Meanwhile, it's Sniper solo kill on the Brewmaster.
Era. All right, stepping up the
Catching him
aggression.
out on the high ground with the shrapnel for vision, the
Dire's
assassinate to
middle
follow.
tower is under attack.
Another snowball coming into play. Get him board. The Tusk train goes chewing along, and Hanskin getting caught out. Walrus punch to the face, followed up by the slam dunk. And Era the next target in mind, but they've lost the disruptor in the meantime. Axe is running low in mana, has enough mana for a call here. The magic stick, no charges on it. Era's just going to turn and fight this one, I think, with the goo. They can slow down Yoki, and this is looking like a potential kill. Axe in all sorts of trouble. Doesn't have the mana to do too much there and lose the Axe.
He does buy his blink before he dies, so not all bad for the Axe. Seal Kid gets credit for the kill. Era getting some decent momentum now. He's got drums all of a sudden to go with these phase boots. As Jonas dings level 7. It's almost like this Jakiro never left. Level 7 is not too shabby, considering he was sharing the jungle with Chen for an extended duration.
I guess one of the concerns for NiP is they haven't been able to really group up, take too many towers here. They picked this Jakiro as a core with the Chen to look to take some early fights, push down towers. Even the Bristleback was meant to be one of their kind of early game fighting heroes, but Limp only now picks up treads. 10 minutes in, he is very underfarmed, and that is not a good sign for NiP.
Yeah, 0, 2, and 5. The double dunks in the bottom lane have made his life a lot more difficult. Macro Pyre deployed in the top just to clear out the creep wave, push him away from the tier 2, but now Silent comes in. Will be happy to clear these out with the double damage rune on. Smoke rotation from the Dire side, moving through the bottom rune spawn gods. Where they go, and looks like they're going to do the old wrap around in the mid. There's going to be a snowball coming this sniper's way. Is the dwarf prepared for it? The smoke gets broken.
Goes to error here, but with phase drops, he's pretty fast, but the Battle Hunger will slow him down. Yogi gets caught. Resolution doesn't have the Blink Dagger just yet. Error gets caught up by the snowball. Walrus punch in the face. One kill going their way, and they've got a primal split here. They're going to go for this one. They've got to be careful. The Bristleback, he does a lot of damage. Needs gets thrown up in the air. They're not going to use the Cyclone just yet. Takes a bit of time. They bring down the Witch Doctor start. Yoki going to be the casualty of war. 2 for 3 trade so far. Handskin, the next target. The Brewmaster split quickly realizes they're in over their head. They've got to run. One more Cyclone in the Bristleback, and that may be enough. Yep, that'll save, well, looks like it'll save Resolution's life for the time being. He's juking and jiving, will turn around the other direction. There is an ensnare from the Troll Trapper.
Silent dies solo to Jakiro. Meanwhile, though.
Resolution, he's being caught out. Oh, Empire. They're losing a lot here.
Can he get Handskin? A few more auto attacks. One more swing of the flail. Will it be enough? Maybe, but we're not going to find out as Bristle locks him in place. The sticky goo stacking up, and
So Storm died to...
it's NiP with a full 5 hero wipe. Storm died solo to the Jakiro. I don't know how, but he ran out of mana to zip at the end, and there was some DOT action.
Must have
Taking
thought
it down.
Jonas was still disconnected. It's like, oh, it's an AFK, or let's go. Let's just take
Kill
the
the weak
freebie.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
while
Disruptor
he's down.
was the first one to die in the fight. He was up on the high ground here, kind of got isolated near the tower, and got picked off before the team could really do anything to save him. They were trying to focus on the sniper who was running up towards the Radiant Ancients.
Yeah, I thought they would just go for that. They ran past the Witch Doctor who was right next to them, who I think was just the easy freebie kill. Chasing the sniper was just maybe a bit too far and hard to get that kill, so
Yeah.
we'll see what the plan's going to be here. Handskin now getting close to his mech, and has got himself up to level 8. And all in all, it feels like NiP have at least settled here as the gold difference gets back to even on net worth experience in favor of the Swedish squad.
Yeah, Sniper's actually the highest level in the game, the only one to have the level 2 ulti, sitting pretty at level 11. Now with a Blade of Alacrity, I reckon that's a Yasha around the corner. Very straightforward build from Era, but a tried and true one. Good mix of damage, survivability, and mobility as well.
It would be really nice to get away from heroes like the Axe and the Brewmaster split and just have that extra bit of movement speed burst from the phase and the jumps which you can cast.
Dire's
So.
bottom tower
Also,
is
just
under
like
attack.
you say, it's just good hybrid. Attack speed leads more
Radiant's
damage,
middle
more
tower
headshots,
is under attack.
and the agility means more attack speed as well. So we'll see.
But now Empire have the
Radiant
double blink
structures
daggers. That's
are
something they didn't
fortified.
have in these previous skirmishes, both Resolution and Yoki. A
Dire's
lot
bottom tower is under
more
attack.
potent than they were.
We get down maybe a
Dire's
D-ward here on the
bottom
high ground
tower
here, but there
has
is a
fallen.
dire ward from Empire scouting out all these heroes in the tree. Sealkid needs to be a bit careful, but right now Empire don't want anything to do with this.
Dire's
They are
bottom
not
tower
defending
is under attack.
against the 5-man of NiP, who don't have
Radiant's
a mech
top
here. So that's
tower
one
is under
key
attack.
component they are missing
Dire's
in this equation. But
structures
even
are
so, Empire want to go
fortified.
for the trade at top lane, at mid lane. Looks like another DC going to come out.
So,
Jakiro.
what is the ruling on pause time here? Yeah, I was just gonna say.
We got to get back. We got to continue. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I
it's
think
10
they-
minutes total for the entire game.
Yeah, I was
so-
gonna say. I don't think it restarts after
Dire's
you get to
bottom tower
reconnect
is
the
under
DC
attack.
again.
That was one of the auto pauses.
Oh, was
Dire's
that?
bottom
Oh,
tower has
It's
fallen.
weird because it normally doesn't actually count down. That's not something that's meant to happen in private games, but that's like the auto DC pause.
okay. I see.
Volvo. Still in beta, don't worry. He'll get
Radiant's
fixed one
middle
day.
tower is under
Gotcha,
attack.
gotcha. So there is actually a mech completed on the Chen, though. It still needs to be ferried out. Looks like the courier picked it up, but still a big item that will, of course, help their team fighting. Here we'll see near the Radiant Secret Shop Lift initiated on. Oh, brilliant. That's my bad. But anyway, easy kill. They set it up with the Walrus Punch, and Silent just zipping all over the place. Too much for the Bristleback to handle.
NiP that just kind of got back to level footing,
Ooh,
but
Era, mid lane, Yoki, the Blink brothers are in town, gods. Hope you got tickets.
Is under
well,
attack.
It's going to sell out quick. They pick up the kill in the mid.
that was a quick show. I got to tell you that here. Well, they're not done. It's an encore performance. They're going in on Sealkid here. This time they don't need the Blink Dagger, it looks like.
Is under attack.
Sealkid going to get locked in place. Nice ice shots coming out. Tusk. Tusk.
Find something else here. Handskin and Jonas, they want to make it happen, Captain. Yoki, he gets bold. He goes in onto Jakir, or pardon me, onto Handskin. He's got a lot of armor, though. Now Resolution comes on back. That's a kill on the Chen. Jonas in a rough position. Aloha Dance comes in, gives him the old Walrus 1-2 sucker punch to the side. And they'll glimpse back the Bristle, who TP's in. All of a sudden, Empire have a tower in the mid with no one here to defend.
Yeah, Aloha Dance dealing it out with some Chen creeps here. And probably just go on the tier 1 tower. There's no glyph available. Rep Resolution will say, yeah, okay, we'll take this freebie here. TP in from your Witch Doctor is going to get this and get this fast and find an escape. The blink out. to the high ground. A long 4-second TP from Silkid.
Oh, another clip's back onto Era. It's going to cost Always Want to Fly his life after he takes a death ward to the face, but
This
I
game
guess
just a scrappy mess.
worth it here just to give him that, you're going back to the well, Era. Seal Kid, uh-oh, Yoki, he's going to blink forward. Silence there to zip on down. It's another slam dunk. Oh, man.
Some good old CIS Dota coming out from Empire, showing some classic aggression. As the Axe, the Brewmaster, their blink timing. Suddenly, Sniper, well, he was the highest level, the top net worth for a while, but all 3 Empire cores have all of a sudden taken over him after that last few minutes of play. With pretty much everyone on the NiP side going down at one point or another.
Yeah, it's a tough game to watch. Disconnected Jonas having some serious connection issues here. Oh, man. Feel bad for the Swedish team, but
They're good sports about it, I gotta say.
yeah.
They understood, you know, they weren't complaining. They're looking to, I don't know, just struggle this one out and try and do as much as they can. They look to micro him too, as much as Hanskin can do. So, definitely good sports.
Yep. So, Orchid up on the Storm Spirit, silent. He's now the highest level in the game, leading Farmer, and this is when things start to get very scary for NiP. They were kind of able to hold their own before, but now with the double blinks and this Orchid, they have a tall order here, GoDz, to try and turn this one
No
around.
resolution, but he's going to split. He may just want to pop that one. No, he gets away. Doesn't have the blink just yet. The Shrapnel going to deal with that off in the side by the Tier 1 tower. In goes your Tusk. Snowball in. Yoki gets his first dunk of the team fight. Looking for a second on Jonas. We'll get a Disruptor Static Storm helping cover this team fight as Storm goes ball lightning in, and it's onto Era. Breaks the gap onto the Sniper. That's 3 dead. Make it 4. Only 1 left standing, and it's your Bristleback. And, well, he's on a ticket out of there, and he gets away just in time before the Cyclone can find him.
All right, catches the train back to the well just in the nick of time, but a 4 for nil. Not what NiP had in mind, and I don't see too much changing the fate of their future fights unless they can really catch Empire unaware. They'll move right into the Roche pit. 17 minutes in. Not a bad time to take a Roche if you can get away with it.
It's like it's something that NiP just won't be positioned to contest with. Yoki's still in the mid lane, just pressuring things out here. He's already up to 1600 HP with a point booster. Vanguard pickup. Accepted not far off, but Empire looking hot right now here in game number 2.
They certainly are. So Roche will fall in a matter of seconds. That Tusk Sigil, man, doing some work. Anything that slows attack speed. Poor Roche, man. He does some things so well, but other things so poorly. And one of them is dealing with attack speed slows. Aegis of the Immortal in the inventory of the Storm Spirit. One of the best Aegis carriers there is, if not the best. And now they're going to have fun dealing with that. Silent also with a double damage rune as they retreat out of the pit. I think Empire are just going to end this one sooner rather than later. They'll take this Tier 1 tower down bottom, and they're going to keep this 5-man train running.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's an 8,000 gold lead. NiP are just 5-manning the other side of the map. Probably going to be looking for a Tier 1 tower at top, a Tier 2 tower if possible. But Empire just pushing faster and harder right now. Resolution actually decides to TP home. Completely out of mana. Looks like they are going to gear up for a defense of the top lane. Whether they can get there in time for the Tier 1 tower, we'll have to wait and see. Brewmaster has to make a long walk from base, but with a glyph still in hand, Empire may look to even defend the Tier 1 here. It's kind of hard. Brewmaster's the ideal target to kind of TP in first. Him or the Axe, and it looks like Axe.
I just don't think they're going to have enough time. Having to TP back to the base, then walk to the lane, even against a team that's kind of underfarmed but has such a hero. Be a little bit tough to try and make this happen, but here you go. They'll bring in the Disruptor first as a distraction. Now comes Yoki. They go on the limp. The off-heal from Chen keeps him alive, but now the Snowball going across the fight. Silent going in deep. They get the kill on Era first. And now Empire can just start to converge. There's your Primal Split flying through. Seal Kid, the next one, to take a lot of damage. Silent will go down, but he's the Aegis carrier. That's what Empire wanted. Limp being ignored for the most part, really stacking up some quills, but now they'll turn to focus on him. They just want to keep Yoki alive. Do they need the dunk? They don't need it, and it's going to be an Aegis for 5 when she's all said and done. GG's called. Not a moment too soon. An unfortunate way for NiP to end this series, but what can you do if there's a squirrel nibbling on your internet line? There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, unfortunately, these things happen. Such is the nature of these online matches sometimes, where these things are a bit out of your control. And NiP get 2-0'd here. Really good Game 1 showing from them, and Game 2 was looking to pan out pretty well until they ran into those internet connection problems. But it's NiP who go down to the lower bracket, and it's Empire who move forward into the winner bracket final. One team will be going through to the Kuala Lumpur LAN finals. And gotta say, Empire looking pretty good after their Starland of Land Finals victory in Season 11. They haven't really had too many tournament showings, but looking to kind of make a kind of stamp right now in the competitive scene. One of the teams who, when you look at like your Secret, your Cloud9, your EG, your obvious Tier 1 Western teams, I feel like Empire is the next closest team to like breaking into that group right now.
I think so, yeah. I mean, they've been on the cusp for a while. They've had a pretty consistent roster, a couple of trades here and there, but overall, they've been holding steady and been putting up consistently good Dota. That's the key thing for me, is it's not just one-off. It's been the better part of a year now that they've been on the rise and sort of right on the cusp of really breaking into being a true world-class team. So like you said, they'll be in the winners finals now, and they'll have their work cut out for them, regardless of who wins this next best of 3. Virtus Pro Polar versus the Hellraisers, 2 very formidable opponents that Empire knows very well.
Absolutely. And generally, they've done well against their other CS opponents, with the exception being the DIC qualifiers. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Empire at DIC. I think they could have made a good run there, but hey, right now they're looking to go to Malaysia. May have not made it to China, but Malaysia's not far off.
And remember, if you joined us late for that game, we did pause for a good 15 minutes or so waiting for Jonas before that. So Empire, well within their rights to continue on that game. You know, you do what you can to be accommodating, give teams lead time, but there comes a point of, hey, we can't sit here all day. We've got games to play. We've got scrims to win. So, you know, you can't blame Empire for finally resuming.
It's not even on Empire's decision. It's the
it's
admin call saying, we got to go. We're resuming.
I guess
things.
it looks like it's Empire because they resumed the last pause, but it's an admin call at that point. Sorry, NiP, but we're not waiting anymore.
Yep. So that does it, guys. Our first best of 3 is done. We've got our next one in about an hour's time. So go take a break, grab yourself some breakfast, some lunch, some dinner, whatever time it is there, and then come back in about an hour and 15 minutes. We're gonna have Aces Polar taking on Hellraisers. I'm GoDz. He's Zyori. See you then.